On this episode of Where's the Line, me and Joseph talk about Tennessee and Vanderbilt baseball series this weekend, and we go to the Love Corner for a little bit. This is a shorter episode, but it is an episode nonetheless, and it's number 125 of Where's the Line. Let's get into it.
You are now listening to the Where's the Line podcast with Joseph West and Britt Dillard. Enjoy the show.
Milton gonna take a shot wide open and just strutting in is Keaton. Joe Milton does it again.
Borgie again on a blitz. Levis pocket collapses. He's on the run. He just heaves it up. And it's intercepted by Vanderbilt. And let the celebration begin. The streak is over at 26. The Commodores win it.
Talk about Vanderbilt football. All I gotta say, and you're going to hell. Wow.
Another edition of Where's the Line. It is Monday, May 6th. This is episode number 125. My name is Britt Dillard, joined here by Joseph West. How are you today, brother?
Doing fantastic, Mr. Dillard. Hope you are as well.
Doing great. Yeah, I'm here. I'm alive.
Yeah. I wish y'all could see me right now if I wasn't having so many technical difficulties. I got some sunglasses on. I'm inside, but it was mandatory due to the funeral that is taking place today from me, from me.
Yeah, I just woke up from like an hour nap and my face is pretty bloated.
That's
My
crazy.
eyes are crusty. It's raining. I'm sorry if you can hear that. My dog is also entering her elderly stage of life, so she just kind of wanders around. So sorry if you can hear that, but
Dang.
we're here. Against all odds, we're here. Technical difficulties.
We are here.
Everything.
They cannot stop us. Let's go ahead and get right into what's going to be the meat of the EP here, college baseball. New rankings came out today. Vanderbilt is outside of the top 25 for the first time in quite some time. I can't remember.
Do you actually know how long?
Year, I don't. I looked for it, but I didn't actually see it. Someone said last year, but I could never get that like confirmed. Outside of that, I'd seen someone say before we won our first national championship, which was 2014. So it may have been a little bit, not 100% sure there, but still that's crazy that they fell out of the top 25. We'll get back to that in a second. Tennessee went to number one. They're the number one team in the country. They traveled to Nashville this weekend to take on the Commodores. Britt, got any early comments here on UT baseball?
I mean, not getting into it too much. I mean, you went down to Florida and took a series from them. The bats were rejuvenated. The pitching continues to improve for sure. You're starting to feel a lot more comfortable about your bullpen, but yeah, Vanderbilt is kind of the more, I don't want to say more intriguing, but maybe for this podcast, a little bit more intriguing topic. Hearing some rumblings out of Nashville, Joseph. I don't know if you've heard the same, that Tim Corbin may be out the door.
Yeah, I don't.
On his own accord.
I don't quite know if Court is ready to hang it up. Honestly, I don't think he is. I would think he would want to play in the new stadium for sure. Just being honest, it's the house that Corbin built like it is. It's everything that you know about Vanderbilt baseball is Tim Corbin. So I think that he would like to play in that new stadium. Maybe I'm wrong. But ultimately he has to adapt. I mean, Britt's not wrong. We're definitely more intriguing. It's adapt or die time for Tim Corbin. This team doesn't have the power. We talked about it in the offseason. This team needed to add power. Doesn't matter if you play to win in Omaha if you don't make it to Omaha. We're not making it to Omaha. We're getting crushed by teams who just have better power hitters. They score more runs. We don't really even have any power threats in the starting lineup consistently. This team just doesn't have it. This does not look like what a Vanderbilt's team been the last decade. It's going to be sad to watch Corbin lose his touch if he doesn't adapt. But if he doesn't adapt, he will die and go out way worse than how it could have been. So hopefully he changes, but it's definitely got me thinking about baseball a lot and just what it's going to take for us to be back to what I think the expectation is, which is go to Omaha, maybe play for the national championship. Obviously, you want to win a national championship. No, you're not going to do that every year. So just make it to Omaha, and you could miss the tournament if things go really bad. That's unacceptable. That is bottom of the barrel when it comes to Vanderbilt baseball standards. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's a lot, Britt.
I think in years past you could get away with not being as good just because the SEC wasn't as good as a conference.
Yeah.
A decade ago, kind of similar to. Well, I was going to take a shot at Michigan, but that's really not necessary. But the SEC is just they're so good, and I almost said they're top heavy, but they're not. They're just a very well-rounded team. I mean, Tennessee played Florida this weekend, a team whose record is not good at all, and they're a very talented team. They could beat anybody any day, and they've got playmakers, and I think most of the teams in the SEC are like that. But yeah, with Corbin, I mean, you see some coaches like Nick Saban and Roy Williams that are great coaches that just were at the end of the day not willing to keep up with how college athletics is now, and it's kind of, you kind of don't blame them. It's kind of an admirable thing to. I mean, to those guys, I think it just seems kind of dirty to get down with the money and the tampering that goes on, because it does go on, and some guys just aren't willing to do it.
Yeah, I think that Corbin's problem isn't necessarily NIL. I think as much as it is the transfer portal and relationships. Corbin, his whole time at Vanderbilt, has big so big on we're going to bring guys in and we're going to make them better men, and he's bought so into high school recruits, and now all the great high school recruits, they're going to the MLB draft, and the other teams that you're playing against, they're not reloaded with guys that it's going to take 2 or 3 years to get to that spot. They're just getting the portal, and if Vanderbilt doesn't get in the portal really heavy next year, you're going to see a even worse team possibly, or just a mediocre team again. And like I said, that's not the standard for Vanderbilt baseball. It's just not. However, I did like that someone said if we have to sacrifice a sport, let's sacrifice baseball for football and basketball to be average at the minimum. And then I started a poll on Twitter and just said, if Vanderbilt would go at least 7-5 every year in football, would you trade that for not being elite in baseball anymore? So you still go to Omaha sometimes, maybe once, every 5-6 years, but you're not going to be going every year, competing every year like we have been. I just asked if we would make the trade.
Yeah, I mean, the big three are football, basketball, baseball. I think there's a pretty large gap between football and basketball, and an even larger gap between basketball and baseball. But no, there definitely is something to that. I mean, I'm sure if you ask a South Carolina fan if they would give up their women's basketball titles, I'm sure that they would be more than happy to do that for a solid baseball team even.
Yeah. Yeah, you might be right. I mean, I would think you'd definitely be right,
But
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't
Tennessee, number one, you're one game back. I think you're still one game back Kentucky. for the SEC title. You're ranked Tennessee's number 1 in the country, number 8 in RPI, which I think is the main factor in determining seeding, if I'm not mistaken. So that's kind
is. It's
that's
one
kind
of
of
the main
interesting.
ones. Yeah, Vanderbilt is 26th in RPI, I believe. Man, just really bad baseball's been played. I will be there though. I have been asked 2 different times. Are you still going to be in Nashville Saturday? I will be there. So if you're a UT fan and you're at the Hawk, trying to see your boy, come to 25th Avenue Parking Garage. I'll be on the top. What are you laughing at, Mr. Dillard? You pulling up?
No, I will not be. I don't have any money.
Yeah.
That's something that's kind of become a thing. I don't have any money. If anybody wants to send me money,
feel free to.
that would be cool. Speaking of money, the Kentucky Derby was this weekend. What are your thoughts on the Kentucky Derby?
It is cool to watch everybody dress up like, insane. And
Like racist people?
Honestly, it really looks like you're back in the day, or like the Hunger Games is taking place for real. But Kentucky Derby is cool. It's so unique. I think the Kentucky Derby is dope. I always really like it. I always enjoy watching it. Yeah.
I think it's pretty overrated.
Take from me. Yeah, I know you didn't expect that take, but
I think it's one of the. I'm not a hater, but I do think it's one of the most overrated.
You are. I mean,
we have it on ESPN. Why is it on ESPN?
Britt, it's okay that you're a hater. Everybody.
I'm not a hater.
Knows you're a hater.
Okay, let's do this. What are things that I hate?
Other people's happiness.
Okay, one.
Like, another thing that you hate.
I don't like Michigan. I don't like.
You hate on
any state that is north of Tennessee is garbage.
Yeah, not Ohio.
Ohio is the most garbage state.
Yeah, I just made Ian really mad, but it's fine.
I hate Alabama.
Yeah, you're just a hater, man. It's okay. Or like, I'll be like, man, have you heard that new Zach Bryan song gets really good? And you'll be like, no, dude, I don't like it. I'm like, why don't you like it? You're just like, I just don't like it. And then you're like, man, I really just don't like it because other people told me they like it. I'm like, I know. It's okay, Britt. You're just a hater.
I can adapt, though. I mean, there's things that I used to love that I don't like anymore.
That is true.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, how was the Morgan Wallen concert?
Morgan Wallen concert was awesome. Dude's a great performer. There's no doubt about that. He's a legend. He brought out big Jabba the Hutt Hardy. I guess that was pretty cool.
Speaking of haters.
Yeah. Speaking of haters, I hate on Hardy a lot.
He should have brought out Lainey Wilson.
Yeah, he honestly should have. I just don't understand why people like Hardy. Like, I just don't get it.
I like his song Truck Bed. That's about it.
Well, here, tell me if I'm wrong, but here's every Hardy song. Are you ready for this? I'm just going to give you a little preview.
Uh-huh.
It's like, I drank a beer. Yeah, I went to the bar. My girl broke my heart. I don't know what to do. I drank a beer, drove my truck into a telephone pole. I can't talk.
Yeah.
Point. It's like, I don't care. I'm drinking a beer. I don't care about women. She broke my heart. I'm gonna go get drunk.
No, I mean,
Morgan Wallen does, like, I get it. Like, people are like, well, he's got a lot of songs with whiskey in it, but like, at least he tells a different story. Like, at least he does. At least it sounds different. Like, no, Hardy, I don't like you. I'm sorry, bro. I'm your biggest hater here on Where's the Line.
And then Hardy has a song called "Wait in the Truck," where it's literally just him going up and just beating the crap out of some guy.
Yeah, that's insane. Hardy, I'm sorry, I'm your biggest hater. Britt, what else do we have on the agenda?
I had some. Do you remember the Twitter account from back in the day called Shower Thoughts?
I don't. That's okay.
It would just be like stupid little. It would be like, your dog has never seen the top of the fridge.
Okay.
It would just be like little stupid stuff like that.
Right.
I had 2 instances of shower thoughts today that I wanted to share. So imagine you're on on the interstate or just on the road and you see an ambulance drive past you, I realize that I have never once considered that somebody could be in that ambulance. I have always, in my mind, envisioned that they were going to pick somebody up.
Okay.
And
All
I
right.
haven't talked to anybody about this, so I didn't know. Well, what do you envision?
I feel like I do envision them going to get them most of the time, but a couple times I feel like I was like, oh, they definitely had somebody in there. So
Yeah, because
I relate.
I'll see them and I'm
to
like,
an
oh,
extent.
there's somebody's hurt. They're going to get them.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay, so that was one thing.
Okay, I like that shower thought.
And then the second thing I had, when I came home, my mother, I went to my parents' house and I made a tuna sandwich, and I made it with toast. And I was thinking about how much better toast is than bread. And this thought came into my mind, and I was like, that's actually kind of funny. And I can't believe I thought of this by myself. But a toaster is like a pack-a-punch machine for bread.
Are you kidding? A pack-a-punch machine for bread. Are you kidding?
Just think about it.
I'm thinking. All right, I give you some credit, but not much. I just feel like you just drank a fifth of Jack and thought of that, and that was a good idea.
No, I have not drank alcohol I don't even remember the last time I drank alcohol, actually.
Okay,
I'm too drunk to remember.
that's right.
Did you see the roast of Tom Brady?
I did see the roast of Tom Brady. That it was quite funny.
I thought it was.
I enjoyed the bits and pieces that I saw of it.
I thought Tony Hinchcliffe was pretty funny.
Honestly, I couldn't even tell you like the what's it called? The people's names that were there. And I didn't honestly look that hard. Okay, Britt.
Mhm.
Do you have a love corner question?
I can, yeah.
All right, give me one pulled up here. I've got one, but it's going to take me a second to get it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Reddit is full of things. Oh, I got something that happened to me that I haven't even told you about.
Okay, we got to zone in. Tell it right here.
So, you know my 4Runner that I bought.
Right?
So, it was leaking power steering fluid.
Okay.
So, whenever I turn, it's like, when I turn.
Okay, got it. That sounded good.
So, I kept filling it up with transmission fluid because that's what it takes. But then I noticed that it was just leaking straight out, and I was like, I just want to triple check and make sure this isn't like oil. Well, I checked the oil, and it's like empty, just bone dry.
Oh, dang.
And I'm not a car, you know that. But for everybody listening, I don't know anything about a car. So I take it into the shop, and $4,000 later, my vehicle is fixed.
Oh, are you kidding me?
No,
That's terrible.
$4,000.
That's ridiculous.
So yeah, yep. That's cool. Let me just complain about that really quick.
Yeah, let me go off real quick.
These advice questions from Reddit are so terrible.
It's all right. I got mine now. I finally got them pulled up, so we're good. For some reason, my phone was bugging out, and I'm trying to stay on this call, so I was trying to make sure it didn't exit me out when I pulled up Snapchat. All right, are you ready, Britt?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
What? What was that?
Are you sorry, I was having to make sure I know how to read, and that I worded this question correctly without using the actual names.
Okay.
But anyways, basically, partner A is feeling low. Partner B, so female of the relationship, not feeling good. Just I guess just not having some good mental health day. here. But anyways, the male is maybe not doing the best of jobs help with words when it comes to helping out when she's feeling low. Any
Okay.
advice, by the way, boyfriend apparently is a listener. Any advice to the boyfriend on what we can tell him to say when girl's feeling down? We just got any advice?
Oh goodness.
I feel like this is a tough question.
Yeah, for sure. Because I think I'm not. I don't think I'm very good with words in a moment of crisis. Because I take things in life way too unserious. Like
Me too.
when the mechanic tells me it's going to cost $4,000 to fix my car, I'm like, well, that's what credit cards are for, I guess. Let's throw it on there. I mean, there's no reason to get all bent out of shape over stuff that you can't control. But so I can sometimes make it seem like I'm making light of someone else's circumstance, and that's the last thing you want to do. So I don't know. I wish I had more context on like what all she was. It just down like in general, I guess.
Yeah, I think a really important quality of your partner is that they make you smile. So I think they should be genuinely good at that. Like most time, I just feel like that matters a lot. If your partner's genuinely good at making you happy, making you smile, same difference, then it's a go. So I don't know. I don't know if there's any direct advice that I would give outside of like, I mean, you should try to make, like, you shouldn't just blow them off and be like, well, I'm sorry, your day sucked. Like, you should try to put a little pep in their step, I guess. But I don't really have a lot of I don't feel like my, I don't feel like my advice would be very good if I really try to give it.
Yeah, I mean, as long as as long as you're genuinely trying to make them feel better and they can see that you're showing effort, like if they're being serious and not just trying to get attention, they will recognize that, and that will make them feel better, I think. Just that you show that you care about them and you're trying to make them feel better. Or just say get in the truck. We're gonna go do something. We're gonna go get some food.
That's what Hardy said. Hardy said stay in the truck.
Yeah, get in the truck. We're gonna go ride around. We're gonna go to Sonic. At least forget about it for a little bit.
I like that. All right, Britt, I got another one. I have two questions now that were actually personalized to me and you. Okay. So wanted to ask us this question. This one, first of all, it says, "What up, Britt and Joe? Love when y'all get off topic and start rambling. You always make me laugh." Shout out to this listener. I won't out him like this for the question. But what topic would you and Britt like to talk more about in your relationship, but you don't, and why not?
What would I like to talk to my girlfriend about?
About more, but you don't, and why not? I feel like I feel like this is a crazy question. He was trying to out us on the pod.
Like, what would I want to talk to my fiance about?
More, but you don't, and why not? Ooh, I've got mine.
Okay, you go.
Okay. A topic I would like to talk to my girlfriend about more, but I don't, is the Vanderbilt Commodores. Because I think about the Vanderbilt Commodores literally 22 hours a day. And I would love to talk to her about I would love to talk to her about them more because, like I said, that's all I think about. And I just be looking at their football team every day, even in the middle of May or the beginning of May. But anyways, so yeah, but I don't want to annoy her, so I don't talk about the Vanderbilt Commodores as often as I do with my friends. So yeah, Vanderbilt Commodores for me, unserious answer, but that's what I say. Britt thinks it's funny, of course.
Yeah, no, I think it's funny because like every guy is like to their girl, they're like autistic, like there's just stuff that they are like obsessed with. Like I'm obsessed with Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul and those shows, and I can't even I would like to talk to her more about those and her listen, but nobody cares about that. I would like to talk more about, I guess, fishing, I guess. But sometimes I feel like I talk too much about myself already. So,
okay.
I don't really know what the answer is to that.
Yeah, I got you. Here's the next one. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather your partner be like get loud, like raise their voice when you're in an argument, like maybe yell, raise their voice, whatever you want to say? Or would you rather your partner not yell and just be like demeaning, but like always be like, talking the same tone of voice and just like always be, I guess, composed, but be like demeaning about it or like even passive aggressive? They just asked the question, which one would we rather pick?
Definitely the second one.
I think I'd rather pick the screamer.
Do not yell at me.
I'm fine if you raise your voice because I get it. I'm a hyper emotional person. So like when I'm happy, I'm like the happiest dude on earth. When I'm mad, I'm like the angriest dude on earth. So it's for me, it's like sometimes I won't even be like mad at somebody, and like Britt definitely can attest to this just because of how much we've been around each other. But like Britt, there's definitely been times where we've like been talking about something and I'm not mad at you, but like someone else may like listening to our conversation may think that I am. Just because like I'm loud and I've raised my voice while I'm talking to you. Would you agree?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I could see that.
So like I get like just being loud. So I guess that's why I would rather pick the yeller. Because if you're like just sitting down, I just think you're like keeping the same tone of voice. I just always think you're being a smart A, and I hate it. I'm like, no, I can't get with that.
I think for me, it's because once you've reached the final level of verbalizing, which is yelling, I think the next step is physical, and I think that's dangerous.
Britt thinks I beat women. Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm just saying, once you've reached the peak of verbal, the only other thing is physical.
I would never lay my hands on a woman. Just so that is very clear on this podcast.
Oh no, I wouldn't either. Unless like
just Ronda Rousey was beating you up.
I'm just kidding.
But yeah, that's all the Love Corner questions I have that I had gotten sent to me over the past 2 weeks. So I don't have any more.
I've got one at least.
Okay. Okay. I'm ready.
A mutual friend of ours who is without a lady, who is single.
Okay. That's real. I know
and has been single for a minute. So another mutual friend of ours is trying to set him up with these ladies that she knows.
Okay.
And she keeps sending them to him. And he's even been like offended at some of them.
Like he thinks they're ugly?
Yeah.
Ooh, I've been there.
Like his standards are too high. And that's not fair to me to say. And that's not fair to me to say. But also when I'm talking to him about it, he's like, what am I going to do? Just date somebody that I'm not attracted to? Which is a very good point. Because like I've said before, ask any husband that's been married for a long time. He will say that when he met his wife, she was the most beautiful woman that he's ever seen.
Thanks.
Ask any husband that loves his wife. So that is a good point. But I don't know what the answer is for this man, because like I feel like he's not putting himself out there. People are bringing him people, and he's like, I can do better than that. But then he doesn't.
Hey, I'll tell you this right now. First of all, shout out this guy. I'm pretty sure I know exactly who it is. But I would really say, I could argue that I felt the same way at a point. I didn't forget one of my friends in particular, shame on this man, sent me a girl, and I was downright offended. I was like, ain't no way he just sent her to me. I was like, ain't no way. Ain't no way. I was heavily offended. Nah, look, you can't be dating nobody you don't find attractive. You got to stay in your bag. It's going to fall your way. Hey, I met my girlfriend out of complete luck, and it just fell my way. It's going to fall your way, brother. Hang in there.
You've got to at least be like, she's pretty cute. You've got to at least be like that.
That's at the bare minimum.
You can't be like, she ain't that.
No, if you think your girlfriend's not that attractive, and the first semi-attractive woman that shows you some attention, you're gonna be trying to risk it all for a girl that ain't your girlfriend.
And that's what my friend said. He said, I'm just setting myself up to cheat on my wife.
Literally. Yeah, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
So stay committed, brother.
What else? What else is going on?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing is going on in life.
Okay.
Is that all we have?
I think so.
We're just in the terrible days, man. Like, we're really gonna have to get like people to start like sending us in questions because we're in the terrible days of like there is nothing to talk about when it comes to sports. So everybody who listens to this, if you have a question, maybe it's about me and Britt personally, maybe it's about a sports question you want us to answer, something random, please text us, send it in, drop it on Spotify, text it to one of us. I don't care. Just ask a question and we will answer it on our next episode because we're gonna need things to talk about.
Yeah, people don't send me stuff.
Yeah,
Nobody
they're gonna
sends me stuff. Everybody sends you stuff.
Somebody start hitting up Britt D. People start hitting up Britt D. Come on, help him out. Let him
Don't
get
call
some
me.
questions
Just
in here.
yeah, just message
Just
me.
text them. All right, well that's all we got.
Yeah, that's all I
True.
got. I was just gonna say I don't. In the early days of this podcast, I may have sat behind this mic and like pretended I knew what I was talking about stuff like baseball. I keep up with it. I watch the games, but I'm not gonna sit here and break down baseball. To be quite
No.
honest with you, I'm just trying to be honest with y'all.
Oh, that's just being real right there. Well, all right.
Yeah,
well,
but
hey,
that's
I
all I
hope
got.
everybody has an absolutely amazing week. If you needed something more from Where's the Line, I'm sorry we let you down. Anchor down. I will see y'all at the 25th Avenue Parking Garage on Saturday.
Go Vols. Joseph, I love you, brother.
Love you, brother.
Okay, goodbye.